drink is unique. It's not yogurt, it's not lassi. It is actually fermented milk. I did not know that you can ferment milk. So this has a very rich and unique taste. I have been enjoying it, since day one. So in Icelandic, it is called surmjólk. So york is for milk, and surm, I think it's for sour. So sour milk or fermented milk, surmjólk. Alright, so I am here at the first stop of the day. So by the way, it's a Golden Circle tour, which is the most popular tour here in Iceland. So anyone who comes to Iceland wants to do the Golden Circle. As the day goes on, I will show you the places that will give you an idea why this tour, Golden Circle tour, is so popular. So I am here in Thingvellir National Park. It is one of the national parks here in Iceland. So by Thing it means assembly and Vellir means field. So the translation of Thingvellir is assembly field, or in other words, field where people assemble. So in the year 930, that is 930, the world's first parliament was held here. And let me show you where that was. Right in front of me is a flagpole. So that's where the parliament took place. Exactly in front of me is a church, which is a 200-year-old church, and the lake around me is the largest lake in the Iceland. Now I'm going to show you something totally insane. So you see this rift? Can you guess what that is? So this is a rift between the tectonic plates that split North America and Eurasia, that is Europe and Asia. And this tectonic plate rift is expanding about 2 centimeters each year, and at a very, very distant time in future, the country of Iceland will be split in two. So if you're standing on the right side, you are literally standing in North America, and on the left side is Europe. So let me stand simultaneously between North America and Europe. Let me zoom out so that you can see me standing. So my left foot is in Europe and my right foot is in North America. This is nuts. So that was the reason I wanted to come to this national park to take this picture. So let's move on. I have to do the walk, about 30 minutes walk to get to the pickup area. Alright, so now is the time to move between the tectonic plates. Let me give you another look. So as I walk down this path, now on my left is the North American tectonic plate, and on my right is the Eurasian tectonic plate. And this is nuts. Yeah, Iceland is I don't know how to put it in words. The experiences here are extremely unique, which you do not get to see at many places, or well, I would say at most places around the world. Hello America, hello Europe. Alright, so now I'm looking at Europe, and now I am looking at North America. Crazy, right? It is crazy. Okay, let's walk. So as I walk this path, I just had a realization. Even though 2 centimeters a year does not really sound much, but if you look over a period of hundreds of thousands and millions of years, See how big of a rift it has created and continues to do so.
I love it.
You know what I want to do? I actually want to touch the land. It's a documentary evidence that I touched the rift between North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. The weather is quite nice right now. It's 9 degrees centigrade, which I believe is what, 50 degree Fahrenheit. Yeah, even after so many years I still struggle to do the temperature conversions. Here you can see different layers of rocks, which is probably created due to constant shifting of tectonic plates. And one more interesting thing I want to show you. So you see all these white color here and in front of me. So there are no birds, so these are not the droppings from birds, but this is bacteria and silica. So if you remember, I showed you similar white spots yesterday inside the volcano. I know I have mentioned it a couple of times already, but it is a surreal experience moving between two tectonic plates. Look how clear the water is. You can see all the stones under the water. Amazing view. As I was walking, I noticed something. Let me try to show it to you. In front of my finger, that piece of ice, it is shaped like a heart. So here in Iceland, you can recognize restrooms by the letters WC. Now I don't know what does that mean, but wherever you see WC, it means there are bathrooms there. So this is my ride for the day, Ford Excursion. Actually, I misspoke earlier. I said it's a Mercedes Sprinter, but it's not. See those suspension rings? They can go up and down to adjust the height depending on the terrain you are on. So I'm sitting right next to the driver, like on this seat, and it is fun, you know, to be in the front. Another unique experience in Iceland. So while I was talking to my guide, his name is Ingi, which means king in Icelandic, I found out that the word WC, outside toilets, it means water closet, and that's how they used to call toilets in 1900s in Iceland. So it also means a bathroom without shower facilities. I'm here at another hot water spring. I have already shown you one few days back, but this is a more popular one. It's called geyser. Here also there is a lot of smell of sulfur. This geyser, it erupts every 10 minutes and can go up as high as 60 meters, which is approximately 200 feet. Obviously the water is boiling hot. Let's zoom in and capture a picture. I'm not sure if it is audible on the video, but there is a popping sound coming out of water because of the steam bubbles. See the bubbles? Thankfully the wind is on the opposite direction so that I can take a clear shot. So I'm going all the way up to where those people are, and the eruption happens really quick. You know what I think is fascinating? Remember the white color coming from silica and bacteria? So even in these harsh conditions where it is constantly cold and the water is boiling hot, bacteria still survives and thrives. Nature never stops to amaze you. That's what I can tell. hopefully you enjoyed the views of the geyser shooting up and spewing hot water. It was certainly a good experience for me twice in a week. Now just we are hanging out here for next few minutes. I got myself a souvenir, a fridge magnet that has a picture of geyser, and I got myself a coffee. Something interesting I just noticed, these coffee cup lids are not made of plastic, they are made of paper. So lot of focus and efforts in maintaining the sanctity of this place. So here I am. This is the highlight of today's excursion. We'll be doing snowmobiling on a glacier. So this is something I have not done before, and it was quite a hike to come here. You have already seen how bad the roads were. Mountaineering company, they also own big trucks. See the one that is coming now. These are very big machines and you have to be an expert in driving them. See how many tires it has, like 16 tires, and double chases, very heavy at the bottom so that it doesn't flip and can go through any kind of terrain. Alright, I'm ready to go. All dressed up with warm suit. I didn't need a shoe cover because my shoes are waterproof, but I did need a helmet with inbuilt sunglasses so that the light from the snow doesn't reflect in my eyes and I can see properly. And that's one of the snowmobiles that I would be using. I mean, not that one, but certainly one of them.
My wife and I met this city. We both lived around Ridgefield. We did go. Yeah, that was fun.
Alright, so I'm on my snowmobile, ready to go. Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai. We covered approximately 10 kilometers from the base camp and now we are here taking pictures, making videos and whatnot. It wasn't too bad, like getting a initial hang was little challenging. The only trickiest part of riding on a snowmobile, especially if you're driving it, is when you are turning right or left. So basically if you're turning right, you have to tilt your body to the right as much as you can. That will make the turn easier. Same thing on the left side. So it was great fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I have kept my shades on because it's too bright here because of sunlight reflecting off of the snow. So it's kind of blinding if you don't have the glasses on. So we are here for another 10-15 minutes, then we will go back. It was fun, certainly a lot of fun, and to be honest, this is the cleanest snow I have ever seen in my life. I mean, of course I live in New York City and I have also lived in Toronto, so I've seen a lot of snow, but after a little while it gets dirty, and even when if it is falling, it does contain pollutants from the air, exhaust and whatnot. But here that's not the case. It's the cleanest ice or snow. Since I'm riding alone, it's not possible for me to record a video. The scenery was really cool coming up here. I will try to hold some clean ice in my hands. Yeah, surprisingly it's not cold here at all. I mean, I don't have my gloves on and I'm even sweating a little. So yeah, it's not too cold. That's good. Thank you. All right, time to head back. It was great fun being in the snow on the glacier. All right, let's head back to the base camp. Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai. This is nuts, two of my co-passengers, like two snowmobiles, one in front, right in front of me, and one in the very beginning. They tipped over. So we have taken a stop. I would have wished to go and help them, but I don't know if it is allowed because nobody told us. So that's why, I'm just sitting in here. Let me give you a view of the surroundings. It's a serene view, it's crazy. Looks like my fellow passengers are coming. Behind me, I can hear the sound. Alright, so now I am going to explore the last attraction, that is Gullfoss waterfall. So even though there are 10,000 plus waterfalls in Iceland, this one is one of the special ones for the reason that is coming on your screen in a moment. See, this waterfall is not like a single drop. There are multiple drops. It's like a staircase waterfall, and that's what makes it so popular. The height of this waterfall is about 32 meters, which is close to 100 feet. There are two places to see the waterfall. So one is here where I'm standing, then one there where other people are standing, as well as at the top. The one where other people are, it is very similar to the viewing point of Niagara Falls. So while I go to the other side, let me tell you a little bit about my snowmobiling experience. It was really nice, and you know what, even though you have never driven a motorcycle or a motorbike, you should still be fine. You just need to get a little hang of it, and after a while you should be okay. This section here, it looks quite similar to Niagara Falls. The flow of the water is similar, the color of the water is similar, so it reminds me of Niagara Falls. Alright, so these are the origins of the waterfall. Now I'm going to show you my most favorite viewing point of Gullfoss. Here it is coming on your screen as I zoom out. That's it. Having fun, eh? Well, I hope you are enjoying the views. I certainly am, as I mentioned to you a couple of minutes earlier. And it's a very nice weather for Iceland. It is windy, but it is not terribly cold. So yeah, I got lucky once again. Alright, now is the time to head back to the car. See you later. So you see the name of this restaurant? So this is basically not one word. It's a combination of three words. So it's Kaffi, which means coffee, then bar, which means a drinks bar, and inn means a hotel. So that's what they do in Icelandic. They combine multiple words to be as descriptive as possible and then make a new word out of it. So I hope now you got some clarity that why names are so long as well as difficult to pronounce in Iceland. Since it's my last day in Reykjavik and Iceland, I decided to have a dinner outside, and it's a Kurdish place. Kurds are from Iraq, Iran region in Middle East. So I ordered myself a falafel platter It smells really nice, and I'm going to show it to you in a moment. The food costed me 1,990 kronas, which is approximately $15. They have multiple locations in Reykjavik, and their reviews are really good. Each one of their location has a rating of 4.5 or higher. There is so much quantity of food, and hummus looks really fresh. And in the background, I think you can also hear Arabic song. I'm not sure if I told this to you earlier. Iceland is one of the windiest countries in the world, and Reykjavik is the most northerly capital city in the world. And the street that I am on right now is called Lauga Vigur, but in English, this street means hot spring street. Maybe back in the days there were hot springs here, who knows. And this is also the main street in Reykjavik. You can see lots of shops, bars, restaurants, souvenir stores. Now one thing about Reykjavik, and I believe it's probably true for rest of Iceland as well, I have done a lot of walking here at different times, during the day, early in the morning to late in the night, and I never felt unsafe. Also in this city, people like cats a lot. I have seen so many cats walking throughout the day on the streets. Obviously, those are not stray cats. They are pets, and I may have shown you few of the cats in different stores. So yeah, Reykjavik is quite a cat-loving city. I have come to the seashore and have decided to spend my last evening in Reykjavik on this trip by taking a stroll on the seashore. This is the beginning of end of my visit to Iceland. So for me, Iceland is a gateway to Western Europe. It's a beautiful country. The landscape is beautiful. The people are very nice, especially in Reykjavik. The quality of food, I loved it. And I had little apprehensions before coming here about the availability of vegetarian food, even though non-vegetarian food is most common here. But there was never a place where I went and I did not find vegetarian or vegan options. But again, the food is quite expensive. I was traveling by myself, and wherever I ate outside, on an average, the food costed between $15 to $25 per person. So a better option would be to keep snacks with you and buy food from local supermarkets and use that for your meal. Let me tell you something funny. To plan the itinerary of this trip, I created a spreadsheet which you can see on the screen right now. This is the most meticulous planning I have ever done for a trip. I may use that as a template going forward. If any of you are interested in having this spreadsheet, send me a message on YouTube comments and I will forward you the file. I would also like to share something else with you. When I was in grade school, we would study that there are places where it does not get dark during summer, and during winters, the sun never rises. And I used to tell myself that it must be a unique experience to live in a place like this. Lo and behold, I did not know that one day Shri Narayan will give me an opportunity to experience such a natural phenomenon, right? So yeah, I'm extremely thankful for Shri Narayan to allow me to have experiences like these. I'm truly humbled and extremely fortunate to be given this opportunity to see the world around. On that note, I hope you enjoyed the videos of this trip, press the like button and comment and share it with your friends and family. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And thank you again for your time. So thank you once again for staying with me, and I wish you the best. Take care and God bless. Bye for now.